Hello everybody. Today we're going to be looking at how to do an accurate takeoff in Bluebeam based on our Excel sheet that we've already populated when looking through the profiles for all wet utilities. We're just going to jump straight into Bluebeam since we're already familiar with Excel. Now first you want to find that sheet where we can take off and measure the utilities. This one says 27 to 32 from the index, so we'll go there. For y'all it's already been broken out, so you can just open the page that is called Utility Plan. And you'll find this page right here. We're going to be working with storm first. So let's open Excel. We're going to look for 28 and 15 in Excel because that's the one we want to take off on Bluebeam. So we found it right here. 15 to 28. It's 125 feet. It's HDPE and it's 15-inch diameter. Now we've got a toolbox here where we can measure and count these things. First one we want to open up is storm sewer because that's what we're working with. We're going to find the HDPE 15 that we saw from Excel. We found it, right? So we click right here at the end of the pipe in the center of the structure, and then we do the same right here. Double click to end it. Now we want to get the two structures, 15 and 28, onto Bluebeam as well. We're going to count these structures. So now go to Excel, find 28 and 15. 28 is a nyloplast structure, 30P, and then 15 is a DI3B. You can tell by the shape of them on the planes, but it's always good to double check with the profile to make sure that you're doing it right. Now we're going to get our nyloplast structures, the NYP30 from the count tools. We're going to search it in the search bar here, or you can always scroll through and find them as well. And then we're going to do the same thing with the DI3B. We're going to take that count tool, we're going to count it here. Okay, so now moving on to the sanitary main, we'll pull up that page on Excel. We'll find run 15 to 16. And that's the example that we're going to be taking off here. 15 to 16 is this run. It shows 111 feet, 8-inch diameter, SDR 35, which is our main. And then these are manholes as well. So we can take in our toolkit we can take the sanitary main measuring tool, the 8-inch diameter, and we'll count from 15 to 16. See, that's at 111 feet. That's what we had in the Excel, so we know that's accurate. And we'll take a manhole count tool and we'll count both of these manholes. Now we'll do the laterals. You can, again, search or you can scroll through, but we're going to take that lateral 4-inch diameter. You can find that by going to your lateral Excel and you've put in your 4-inch diameter. You're going to take that tool, the lateral 4-inch tool, and you're going to run it across like that. Now you've captured one lateral. But you need to make sure you have a connection so you can count your lateral connections, and you also have the clean out at the end. So you want to count the clean out, and boom. Okay, now moving on to waterline, it's slightly different than the other two. So open up the page that's been provided for you. That's the waterline profile. Now this is Odin Street waterline. We're going to find where it starts. 10 plus 0, 0, and there's a fire hydrant where it starts, and it's connecting to existing. So when you pull up the plan, you can find that spot right here on the bottom right. Sometimes you got to look around, but you want to see if these details, like a fire hydrant, it's connecting to the existing on Odin Street. It's the same run, so you're starting at the right spot. Similarly to the other two, you measure your pipe. So we know this is that class 52 8-inch main that we saw from the profile. So for this example, we'll just stop right here at this T. And then, you just want to count up your different waterline fittings. You got hydrants, all those kind of things. So if you go into your waterline fittings tool chest, you can see most of them have already been created, but you can create more if you'd like. So, I go up here and I just search fire hydrant. I put it right there. We got the gate valves here. So I'll type valve. I'll grab those. We got one 6-inch gate valve here. We got two 8-inch, one right there, one right there. We have the waterline connect to existing, so we can search for that existing waterline connection. We're going to want to test pit that area, so you would count a test pit, so on and so forth. Okay, so after taking off everything based on what we see on Excel and the waterline profile, we'll have a takeoff that looks like this. You can see this area is completed with all the runs and structures, so we'll be able to look up the total quantity of, let's say, 15-inch DIPE, for example. Sorted by the subject. You can see Our 15 inch is 4,407. Now we go to Excel, we go to our utility summary. Now we want to look for the total that we've got for that 15 inch HDPE. We got 4,373, and this has 4,407. But they're close enough, so we'll take the larger quantity to make sure that we got our bases covered. So you just do that until you make sure everything is good. Where there is a problem, you want to note the discrepancy so you can solve that problem, but this is the entire process. Thank you for your time.